A fish named George was seen one day walking with his cane and top hat down the avenue with a golden fleece dangling from one fin.
Which is rather odd, because in the middle of summer, dangling fleeces tend to make one very sweaty.
And walking on the street, it's very difficult for a fish, particularly one so laden with a heavy golden fleece, to breathe, whether or not your name is George or something.
George was very upset as he looked around, and he didn't see any friends, and he was having a hard time breathing. After all, with the fleece and the cane, it was really upsetting.
Then, until he encountered someone who had a bucket of water.
And he said, "Oh, water!"
Thank you! And in he jumped.
Going like this. But he had water. He could breathe in his own element.
But his top hat got incredibly damp.
So he said to the friend with the water, "You have saved me. You have given me water and I can breathe."
But the heavy golden fleece sank to the bottom of the bucket. And
And this heavy golden fleece at the bottom gave him something to sit upon. And he took his hat and said, "Friend."
And he took his hat and handed it out to his friend with all the water in the hat.
And the friend said, all well and good to have the hat, but what about the golden fleece? And so
The golden fleece is wet, but it could be yours if you could say the magic word. So he picked up the fleece.
And said, "A la peanut butter sandwiches!"
And the fleece dripped into the bucket, filling the bucket so that George could continue to breathe. And the friend took the fleece, wrung it out very thoroughly,
into the top hat.
And the top hat was filled with water and very heavy.
And the friend said, "I love this fleece, and I even love the top hat, but what I would love more
Is to leave now and go to the Andes with the golden fleece."
without the fish, because, fish in the Andes just is not viable.
So the friend took the fleece, but he left the bucket of water for the fish to be able to swim. And he went up high. And he picked the fleece up and said,
we'll let this dry, and it'll absorb the fresh mountain air."
And then the gold will drip out and I'll become fabulously wealthy.
And the fish will be perfectly happy swimming in his bucket, whether his name is George or not.
And the moral of the story is...
"Don't put your fish in a bucket of water unless you want it to live."
Wow!